if you want to go now, we can go now. And AJ was pretty calm. He said, "Do you want me to smash this chair across your face?" And then they got separated. They all both stood up, and it was good. I like a fighter leaving here with a little bit of spite, and of course, AJ's going to train at 110%, but nice to have that spite still. And it's a great fight, dangerous fight for both, incredible card. When His Excellency said that he was going to bring Riyadh Season to Wembley, I didn't really understand it. Now I do. I think one of the best cards we've ever seen. I just feel that, like, Frank over the years sort of said to him, "You've got to say more." We saw it against Hergovic, just randomly came out with some expletives. And, I think when you're getting poked like that in a face-to-face, after a while the temper goes, and it's good. I think it's going to be that kind of fight.
Superstars to the right of us, Eddie Hearn there doing a group interview. Superstars to the left.
I mean, obviously the mandatory was due, so he had to fight Daniel Dubois. He could have messed around a little bit. Ultimately, he would have had to give up the belt, but thankfully, and obviously that relationship with His Excellency as well, he did what was right, which was rather than mess around and try and hold on to it, but eventually you're going to have to give it up. Let it go, let these guys compete for it, and let the winners fight the winners.
How much of a factor do you feel sparring was? It was a long time ago. And Frank was one of those people that said that Dubois dropped AJ during that time. Does it play a factor at all on what he's making?
I don't think. I mean, God, what was it now? 8, 9 years ago? Yeah, I don't know. But didn't Hergovic destroy Dubois in sparring? That was the rumour, wasn't it? And then look what he done to Hergovic. So I don't think that really matters. I mean, both fighters have changed a lot since. Both fighters have gained a lot of experience. I think, in all honesty, I think it's a bad time to fight Anthony Joshua, and it's probably a bad time to fight Daniel Dubois. If you look across Dubois' career, he's probably in the form and the confidence of his career right now. But so's AJ. So in that respect, you've got two Brits fighting for the World Heavyweight Championship at the National Stadium. And, it just sets up a great fight.
Eddie, he did an interview earlier on today and said your relationship with Frank Warren, it's a little bit fake.
Yeah.
Is it fake or is it real?
No, I can get why he says that, because he's not really been around us. I think, I said to Frank earlier, it was like, 6 months, 7 months since we first met back there, backstage. And that was fake, because we were told by His Excellency to get on with it, work together, and stop the arguments. And we said, all right, then, reluctantly. But the relationship from there, to be fair, has blossomed. It's become very enjoyable. It's very beneficial for our companies, but more importantly, our fighters. And, with myself, not just me and Frank, but Spencer Brown as well, built this card, like, up until midnight last night. And His Excellency signs everything off. He's the creator and director of these events. And he knows the fights he likes and the fights he doesn't like. And we've all done a great job.
Eddie, there was a lot of talk about a year ago when AJ was headlining the O2 in multiple fights that maybe his stock had gone down a little bit. Now talk about the resurgence of him back at Wembley Stadium and in a massive fight.
Things change very quickly, All of a sudden, you're shot, you're finished. Look at Daniel Dubois, got beat to Joyce, got beat to Usyk. Oh, he's a quitter, he's this, he's that. All of a sudden, he's a dangerous heavyweight, he's world heavyweight champion. And, the thing is with AJ is he lost his way a little bit around the Usyk fight. And it took him a couple of fights, really Hellenius and Franklin. The link up with Ben Davison, he's looking more dangerous than ever. He's punching way harder than he's ever punched before. He's now the complete fighter in terms of defence, footwork, everything. Whereas before, we were probably a bit like Dubois. We'd just come in and hope that our strength would just see us through. Now he's got every asset of his game and a great trainer and a great game plan. So I feel like he's in the form of his life.
Has the path been set by Turki Alashik, the winner of this, against the winner
he's
of
not. I think
Tyson
it's just a natural path. It's not something that His Excellency's turned around to us and said, if you win this, this is what will happen. But at the end of the day, if AJ beats Daniel Dubois, or when he beats Dubois, you all know what's going to happen. Hopefully Fury can beat Usyk, then you've got it. But whatever happens, I truly believe he's going to be undisputed. I don't believe there's any heavyweight in the world that beats him right now in this kind of form. And he's just got to get through 21st.
Where do you rate this card historically in the UK? And secondly, how do you feel about the ban with Ryan?
I mean, on the card, I think it's the best card we've ever seen. People talk about AJ against Klitschko. That was a good card, nowhere near the standard of this card. But it was the drama in the ring that gave us that kind of night. I think on paper, this is the best we've ever seen. Also at the end of the day, anything can happen. But again, on paper, we see now really that this is the best card, top to bottom, we've seen.
And the Ryan ban.
I mean, he hasn't. It looks like you've gone in to do a deal. I think that. I look at the Conor Benn situation. If you're not willing to protest your innocence, if you're willing to accept guilt, you can sometimes actually get a better result than if you have to go through a process and fight it. Conor was never willing to go in and do a deal and just say, all right, yeah, I'll just take it on the chin, just ban me. Maybe he should have done that. But he always said, I'm not, I'm innocent and I want to fight it to the death. Ryan's not really fought anything, has he, really? He's just done a deal.
What about Devon's reaction at saying he may step out of the game for a year as
well?
well?
I think emotionally and mentally, I think it's been tough for Devin Haney. He lost his belt. He took a bit of a beating that night. He showed tremendous heart, but now he finds out he took a beating off someone that was on performance-enhancing drugs. Very difficult to accept, So, he'll be back for sure. At what weight class, we'll have to see.
Eddie,
when it comes to undisputed, let's say hypothetically, Alexander Usyk beats Tyson Fury again, do you think there'd be like some reluctancy maybe from Usyk to take that trilogy, considering he's already beaten him twice?
No, I think it'll all depend on the deal. I think he'll fight anybody. He'll realise AJ is a much better, different fighter than he was when he first fought him. But I'm sure he'll believe that he can win the fight. But I think if AJ goes in and butchers Dubois, then a lot of people are going to believe that he can beat Usyk. So we'll have to see what happens.
Eddie,
I also wanted to ask you, came out a couple of days ago about a former Galal, your fight opponent, Moises Caveiros testing positive for cocaine and getting banned for 4 years. Obviously, you cannot reeling that he's been passed away for 3 months. How does that sort of happen? How did that happen with the correspondence to you?
To be fair, it doesn't look great for UCAD, but let's be honest, it's not really UCAD's responsibility to search around for people, fighters around the world, to see if they've passed away. So what would have happened? And by the way, that fight was on my card. I never had any alert, any email, any information that any fighter had passed test. And that's how UCAD and the board work. They keep it confidential between the parties. I'm not sure I actually agree with that. I think Galal Yafai maybe should have had the right to know that his opponent had tested positive. But anyway, so the team would have been contacted, right, by UCAD. At the time, Moises Caveiros was alive, and as the process, as it does with UCAD, takes forever. Unfortunately, he passed away during that process. So I think it looks worse than it is, but not ideal.
Eddie, saw you share a handshake with Joshua Buatsi up there. There was a lot made of that and how it all ended with you and him. What is that relationship like now, and what was it like seeing him back on stage?
There's still legal action, in place, which hopefully will come to a head soon. Josh just got advised badly. That's all. As did Lawrence Okoli. But it's boxing. I think that you get a lot of fighters who listen to people, and and obviously we feel that our contractual position wasn't respected in that case. I wish him all the best. I've always felt that he could become a world champion, but that opportunity was there for him 4 years ago, and he didn't want to take it. So hopefully, I like Willie Hutchinson as well. It's a good fight.
Eddie has created his first interview publicly after the Usyk loss, and one thing he said was that he feels like he needs to knock out Usyk this time. He doesn't feel like he's going to get a decision on the knee. Do you agree with him on that?
No, I mean, I think if Fury wins the fight, he's going to get the decision. And by the way, it was a close fight. I had Usyk winning by 1 or 2 points, but at the end of the day, anything could have happened in that fight. Sometimes he gets the decision there. Most people felt Usyk win, but it was a round or 2 rounds away from a Fury win. I think there's no reason why Usyk should get a decision over Tyson Fury. If he's more aggressive in the fight, maybe he can stop him. I mean, he hurt him in the first fight, so I think he's got a chance in the rematch.
You've had the back and forth with Tank Davis before. He seems to be in talks with the Lomachenko fight. What do you know about that fight?
Yeah, I think it's a good fight. I mean, look, I think Lomachenko is towards the end of his career, but as well, he's a very good fighter. I think Tank is a good fighter, but Tank loses a lot of rounds. Every fight that Tank's in, whether it's Isaac Cruz, whether it's Frank Martin, whether it's Ryan Garcia, he loses rounds. And I think he's going to lose rounds to Lomachenko. It's whether he can get hold of him. He's got fantastic power. But, for me, the fight to make is Tank against Shakur Stevenson.
There's rumours about Shakur and Machida. Is there anything behind that?
No, I believe this is his last fight with Top Rank. I mean, there's been a little bit of flirting on social media. That's about it. I think Shakur Stevenson is pound for pound top 5 already. He may be the best fighter in the world, and I think he's been promoted terribly. I think nobody knows who he is, and a man of that stature and that resume and that ability should be a huge star in America. So look, I'm flying tomorrow. We've got another one of our superstars, Bam Rodriguez fighting Estrada. Then we've got Jaron Ennis. If we can add Shakur Stevenson to the roster as well, we've got a beautiful thing going in America, and looking forward to a big fight this weekend.
One more, guys.
If AJ beats Dubois, what would you prefer? Would you prefer the trilogy against Usyk, or would you prefer the battle?